going to do the roll call.
Have our roll call.
Pastor Eddie Lake.
Present.
Tangela Hardy is on her way. Don Shepard. Joanne.
It's Joan and I'm
Joan.
here.
Davida Boner. Lynn Thompson.
Good evening.
Good evening. And Renee Richardson. Here. Okay.
Thank you
We
so
have a
much.
quorum.
Yes. Let us stand for prayer, invocation, followed by a pledge of allegiance. Father, in Jesus' name, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this privilege to gather together as the Midtown Redevelopment Board, concerned citizens about this territory and the city that you've placed us in. We pray, God, that what we do around this table, along with the staff and the leadership, that we come together in order to advance and move our community forward. We pray for your grace, for your wisdom, for your knowledge and understanding, and for your peace to be the order of the day, that you would give us all witty inventions to make sure that we create a better environment that is conducive for rearing families, great safe entertainment, and for safety and security for all of those who are involved. And we pray for our fair city, that you would bless us all, bless the work of our hands and every level and department of this city. And we give you praise in advance for the prosperity that shall be developed as we come together to do your will, your work, your way. And it's in Jesus' name we thank you for the success and the prosperity of all that we do. Thank you, Father, and amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Amen. Thank you so very, very much. Next item on the agenda is to approve the agenda. So if we can entertain a motion to do that, would be greatly appreciated.
No problem, Mr. Chair. I move approval.
Is there a second?
I second it.
Moved and properly seconded that we approve the agenda as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers nay. So is the order. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes. You should have received them, had privilege to read them. We could offer the motion for approval.
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and properly seconded that we approve the minutes as presented for January the 13th. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers nay. So is the order. The minutes have been approved. All right, next item on the agenda are our staff reports. We will begin with Captain Conde. Good to see you, sir. Good evening.
This is the District 1 patrol stats from our most recent reporting period of January 13th until today's date, February the 10th. We handled 2,464 calls for service, completed 479 reports, made 53 felony arrests, 53 misdemeanor arrests, conducted 316 traffic stops, issued 441 citations. For persons crimes, we had 7 aggravated assaults, of which 2 were cleared by arrest, 1 had a complaint affidavit for the suspect, and 4 remain ongoing investigations. Of note, there was a firearm, a hammer, and a knife used in these crimes. Following is 3 domestic violence aggravated assaults. 1 was cleared by arrest, and the 2 pending have complaint affidavits for the identified suspects. We had 7 domestic violence simple investigations, 2 of which were cleared by arrest. 5 have affidavits completed. We had 2 weapons law violations. 1 occurred at Mainland, where a stun gun was recovered from a juvenile, and that resulted in an arrest, and the second investigation remains ongoing. There were 4 sex offenses reported. Those investigations remain ongoing. 2 death investigations and 4 missing person investigations. For property crimes, we had 9 burglaries. Out of the 9, 4 were cleared by arrest with 5 ongoing. We had 7 motor vehicle thefts, of which 1 was an attempt. 1 was cleared with an arrest, and 6 remain ongoing investigations. Of note, there were 3 motorcycles stolen out of these 7. We had a spike, unfortunately, in car breaks. We had 16 reported during this time frame, all of which remain ongoing investigations. And oddly enough, out of the 16, 12 were forced entry, leaving 4 of them were actually unlocked. during which 2 firearms were stolen. There was 1 reported robbery, which occurred at the PNC Bank, and that was fortunately cleared with an arrest within minutes. We had 2 prowler investigations resulting in arrests at Embry-Riddle as well as KT Medical. As far as our Pack Talk surveillance trailer, excuse me, for this month and this time frame, we maintained it for the most part in the Midtown area. We moved it then to the south end to Caroline Village and then up towards Joe Harris Park. And it is currently now sitting on the south end of the city due to the current trends of car breaks. And one thing that I would like to share is the Pack Talk company very graciously offered to lend us another second trailer to no cost. They're obviously interested in maintaining that relationship with us, and they offered it for the remainder of special events. So that's always a nice bonus.
Very good.
As far as upcoming events, obviously this week we have Speed Week beginning tomorrow the 11th until the Daytona 500 on Sunday the 15th, followed by Bike Week shortly thereafter from February 26th until March 8th. And those are the special events as we wrap them up. And there was truly nothing significant in the prior reporting period other than the Rolex and then the Clash Marathon, but other than a little bit of traffic, no significant issues.
Very good. Okay. Any questions, board members? Ms. Bonner?
Thank you for your service.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You're very welcome.
Oh, you're very good. Hey, one question. Now, you did say the machine will be there until after the bike week. Is it?
Yes.
So, okay.
Well, we'll have 2 of them, the one that we purchased and then the one that they're lending us.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Okay. Nothing there. Now, will you also be addressing the Meridian barriers?
I am.
Okay.
We'll transition right into that.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to give you a brief overview of what the Meridian barrier system is, and obviously why we think it's a very necessary purchase, especially for us in Daytona. It'll be broad strokes, general information, and then obviously if you have any questions or anything like that, but I always like to gauge your opinion and any feedback that you may have to offer.
Very good.
So this is the Meridian barrier system. Its sole purpose is to be rapidly deployable, and it is a vehicle mitigation system. Unfortunately, as we can see, we have large gatherings in this city on a fairly consistent basis, and the purpose of this is to protect those pedestrians as well as the vendors and anybody that may come to visit. The purpose and the objective is to allow the pedestrian flow to be natural or as natural as possible, while also creating a safe environment with minimal setup. It'll support us as police as well as our emergency response teams, fire and evac. It'll help secure perimeters, enabling rapid response, and also still maintaining that flexible access in critical moments. It'll give us that flexibility should we need to allow the entry of a fire truck or an ambulance or police vehicle if needed. Just a very rough stat is we do have an estimated 85,000 residents and 10 million annual visitors. And from the large scale events to some of the smaller festivals and food things that we have,
Right.
I think it is a very necessary purchase for us. So obviously we have art walks, open markets, wine walks, food festivals. We have the Christmas parade, the seafood and crab boil, not to mention Bike Week, Biketoberfest, races, anything like that. So this is an unfortunate statistic that I have to share with you. These were 2 terrorist acts that occurred recently. Unfortunately, the most recent was January 1st in New Year's Eve in New Orleans. The end result was 15 people deceased and 35 people injured. The primary weapon was the Ford F-150. And then previous to that was Charlottesville, Virginia, during a protest, resulting in 1 person deceased and more than 30 people injured. And that primary weapon was the Dodge Charger. So as good as the intel we collect and whatever technology we have at our disposal, you still unfortunately can't dictate or forecast what somebody's ill intent is, and the use of vehicles is always going to be one of the issues that we face. So this is just a snapshot of some of the Midtown events that we've had, most recently in Biketoberfest, and this is only a very small snippet of what we actually have. If we look at Bike Week or Biketoberfest from Charles to MLK, we'll have several thousand visitors. When we have, the crab at the seafood boil, there's several thousand visitors, vendors, children, students. So it definitely provides us that added layer of security. And if you look at the bottom left, that's actually when we deployed the Meridian barriers last year. And we were very fortunate that the sheriff's office did lend us a few. But the whole objective here is for us to have our own, so we don't have to rely on anyone else. And these are just some of the examples of the Meridian barrier systems deployed, not only in the US, but worldwide. They use them for large-scale marathons, festivals, like I already stated. And you do have a couple of different options as far as how you set them up and allow for any pedestrian traffic, or if need be, vehicle traffic. So this is a joint request for some funding. The total cost for this system, as we've selected it, is $416,401.37. And we're going to be using approximately $208,000 from police impact fees. And then the CRAs, those are the itemized amounts, $30,000 from downtown, $100,000 from Main Street, and then $78,000 from Midtown. I've selected a couple of snapshots of each of the items as well as how many we intend on purchasing. So this is the drop deck trailer. This allows us to transport up to 9 of the barriers, and we're going to be purchasing 3 of them. Each single one of these barriers is approximately 700 pounds of solid steel. So the use of a solid, well-designed trailer is of utmost importance. It'll allow us to actually move it back and forth easily. These are the barriers themselves. As you can see, the weight is 680 pounds, solid steel construction. The nice thing about these is, should the unfortunate occur, or should a mistake happen or an accident occur, if they are struck, all you need to do is pick them up and you can reuse them. Should they become damaged, there is actually a 25-year warranty. So, and they will replace it immediately should the need arise. And we were looking at 36 of these individual barriers. This is the rapid gate kit. We're interested in seeking 2 of these. As you can see, depending on how we set up the entry and exit points for the venue, you'll have the ability to expand it 10, 12, or 14 feet. So if we have something like Bike Week or Biketoberfest, we can adjust it should the need arise. Or if we're going to have a closed street event, we can also have the gate manned. And in one of the videos that you'll see at the very end is how the vehicle will actually not pass the gate itself due to the anchoring system into the barriers themselves. Okay. This is the manual hauler. There'd be 6 items of these. This honestly does just make it easier for us to maneuver the item around. Following this one is the just in case. This is the tow bar. We're going to purchase 2 of those. This is should the need arise and we don't have the ability to get that tow bar quickly, we can then use this to quickly drag the barrier system out of the way. These are the arrestor cables. This allows us to connect one barrier to the next to include the gate system. And we're looking at 30 of those, followed by 18 of these ADA cable protectors. So if we set it up in a way where we allow someone with a wheelchair, bicycle, or anything like that to happen, then they have the ability to still walk through or ride their bicycle or use their wheelchair without any obstruction, still providing a safe method of travel between the barriers.
Very good.
And this is, I selected 2 brief videos. One's about a minute and change. This is the drop off and setup.
Now, this will be done by staff or the company?
This will be done by us, by
Right, okay.
law enforcement.
The initial will be delivered by staff, by the company.
Oh, yes,
And then trained staff will be trained to deploy it.
correct.
Okay.
As you can see, it can be done by one person should the need arise. I mean, obviously, it's quicker and easier when you have more than one person, but one person is capable of moving it and setting it up. And the next video is in actual use.
I was just about to ask you, where is all the weight at in these devices? It's self-explanatory. Are they able to interlock with each other to make more than one barrier?
Yes, that's what the arrestor cables will allow
Okay.
us to connect one to the other.
That's what that just hit.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, because it's
So you see,
two on each side.
there's actually two on each side, so there's four
Right.
total. So you connect one to the other, and then the gate is the assembly in the middle. And as you can see, it did stop the full-size pickup truck. The beautiful thing about this design is, as drastic as that may seem, the driver is actually unharmed. It's not always necessarily a terrorist threat. It could be somebody who is suffering a medical episode. So it's not always something malicious in nature. But we've had, we were very fortunate to have a demo done by the company. They've come down and they've allowed us to use their product before, but we are currently relying on the good graces of the Sheriff's Office as well as Bethune-Cookman University, who have their own as well. But we actually had an officer, a little over 100 pounds, do it by themselves. So it is possible. It can be done physically.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think it is one of the very necessary steps that we need to take moving forward due to the ongoing increases in not only visitors and residents, but businesses as well, as we continue to push forward, making the city grow.
Absolutely.
These can also be used as traffic flow devices?
They could be.
Okay.
They can be. That is not our,
The main objective with these, I
Correct.
certainly understand that,
but they can be used, like there are additional videos where they have them set up in construction zones, construction sites, anything like that.
Okay. I just got a couple questions. So, first question. I guess you'll be deploying these during the race or not? I mean, you got some to use as soon as when?
Upon approval, when it's all said and done, the turnaround time is approximately 45 to 60 days.
Okay.
Between manufacture and then delivery. But as far as the races and for Bike Week, even if we were to do it today, it wouldn't happen that quickly. But fortunately, we've already made arrangements with the
Right.
Sheriff's Office and BCU. So we'll have a couple of things in place.
Then the next question. The cost per development district, is that based on the amount of activity?
Correct.
Okay, all right. Now we got it? Okay. I figured it would be based on the amount of activity. All right.
Any other questions? Any other board members? Just one regarding the 3 trailers and then the other devices. Is that per CRA, even though the costs are breakdown, but are those items for all?
It is for the use across all of the
Yeah, that's what I
redevelopments.
wanted. Okay, very
Correct.
good.
So
Okay.
if there's an event on Beach Street, then
Use the
they'll be
same.
deployed there.
Yes.
Yeah.
If there's something else in the Midtown area,
Okay.
And let's say for instance, now, you guys determine if they're deployed based on the type of event and which projected crowd and the type of event it is, right?
correct.
Okay, all right.
We're seeking to make that the standard moving forward.
Okay, okay.
so we won't be facing a situation where we have events overlapping?
There's always a possibility of that occurring. The objective is to us, at least get us the building block necessary.
And then we
If
can
we're
build upon it.
fortunate enough to make this purchase, then we can also rely on some of our outside agencies so we can supplement what we already have.
Yeah, like Bike Week.
Correct.
Okay, so y'all know you got 2 big gridlocks, one on MMB
Yeah.
and one on Main Street. And you stop traffic on both areas, so,
Correct.
okay.
Right. Okay. All right, we need to entertain a motion to approve the recommendation for the purchase.
I move.
Is there a second?
A second.
Moved and properly second that we approve the recommendation to purchase the Meridian barriers. All in favor? No more discussion? Any other discussion?
No.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. So is the order approved.
Appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Appreciate it. Keep up the
Before
great
you
work.
leave.
Yeah. Before you.
You presenting this, are we the first you presented it to, or have you been to others?
We went to downtown first.
I know you didn't get no kickback from, no feedback, no negative feedback on this, did you?
Not so far. Everybody's in favor.
Yeah. Okay.
Everybody's in favor.
Okay. Off their mind, man.
What? One? Oh, one tomorrow. Oh, okay. One more tomorrow. Bless your heart. Keep up.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you, man.
Thank you.
That's good.
Thanks so much.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, board. All right. Now we move to the next item, which is code compliance. I don't see.
I have to assume that Ms. Kirk had a all-day code hearing,
Okay.
and it slipped her mind because she intended to be here today.
Okay. Very good. All right. We're ready for you, Ms. Michelle. All right. Redevelopment projects that we are proud of and happy about and look forward to doing more.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and board members. I'm Michelle Tolliver, the project manager for Midtown. So I wanted to comment before I present. Going forward, the city manager has asked that any expenditure coming out of any of the CRAs be brought to the board prior to us spending money. So you're going to see this on a regular basis. Police department is not usually a department that requests funding, but because we've been working with them on improving certain areas within Midtown, this is one of the items that they felt was beneficial citywide, not just in the CRAs. So you will be seeing in the past, we have assisted with purchases or items through Public Works, and you've not seen them, but can't think of one off the top of my head for Midtown. But in the other CRAs, they've helped with expenses, and we have not brought that forward in terms of an item. But any expenditure will be coming to the advisory boards before it goes to the commission. Yes, Mrs. Hardy.
Should you guys go to any of the CRAs or the advisory boards and one of them not approve it?
If that is the case, we will share that information with the city manager. And in some cases, well, I guess in not every case, but most cases, they don't have to go to the commission, but everything that happens on the advisory level goes from Ken's office to the city manager, and that's information for them. We've not had one in Midtown where the board or even staff felt like it wasn't something that benefited the community, but in that case, they would share it. This happens a lot with the planning board. There may be a development happening somewhere in Daytona, and the planning board feels as though, even though staff may recommend it, and there's been times when staff did not recommend approval to the commission, that information is shared. And I can't think of one, off the top of my head where the commission went ahead and approved it anyway. But it's a consensus. Angela and I joke about her board. You know, my board is pretty easygoing. But each side, there's pushback for whatever reason. Mr. Thompson asked about the barriers. Obviously, no one would vote against that. Check in tomorrow night, and we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm hopeful they will say thumbs up, but we'll see. Everybody doesn't see the advantage of progress and improvements the way that we see them. They may have not that they're wrong, but they may have a different view of what they think is progress and a good project. But every item that we bring forward to you now will be based on spending, not after the fact, but before the fact. All right, so got a lot going on here. So I am going to go over, including these applications, I'm going to go over each one of them. And if you all will not hold it against my heart, but against my head, because I made a mistake on the first one. This redevelopment grant for Ms. Sharon Hawkins Holden is for twice the amount. She put in an application for 2 different addresses, which the project location identifies. Her request is for the replacement of a roof on both addresses, and both addresses are under one parcel. And it's our Small Projects Commercial and Business Grant, where you see the total project cost, that $9,187.50. I should have done that twice. And I should have attached 2 different copies of the application. And the application for 202 South Dr. Martin Luther King Boulevard would be the same exact application that you have for 200. Thank you, Joe. Joe, you advanced that for me. I got the clicker now, Joe. But the one for the second part property, 202, I should have included in that total project cost, which will bring the total to $18,375 for the total project cost. And then the grant amount, of course, will be doubled. It would be $13,781.25, which does not exceed the $20,000 maximum that we would assist with. And do you all have any questions in reference to that? Okay. And then the next one is one of our residential grants.
Before you
Yes.
proceed, Michelle,
Yes.
Attorney David, do we need to vote on the Sarah item or
Sure, it wouldn't
at the
hurt.
end? Okay.
You're certainly free to, I'm not certain about the limitations of this grant program, and I assume part of the reason that staff is presenting it to you is based upon this directive that all spending be brought before the board, right? So you certainly, I don't think that you have to approve it, but you can certainly make your recommendation regarding the particular application if you'd like.
And
Given that there are multiple applications, it probably would make sense to handle them each individually, but I leave that up to the board, obviously.
And typically, it's the city manager's signature authority. In the past, it has been. Ken addresses that through a memo to the city manager, and the spending happens. But in this case, the city manager wants all spending, regardless of the dollar amount, to come before the advisory board. And voting on it, I think, is proper and in order. I put it down as part of my project updates and information. And if we talk internally and decide that we need to actually put it in another section, we can do that as well, because he wants the input from the advisory boards, the city manager does.
I say, Leah, let's go ahead and approve the Sarah item, because I'm going to have an issue on another property, and then it be lumped in with ones that we approve. So if we can entertain a motion to approve this.
I have a
First
quick
grant.
question.
Yes.
I have a quick question. I was looking at the Business Incentive Program application, and of course, they are to get 2 estimates, but it doesn't, maybe I overlooked it. Who did we go with on this? Did we go with the
So
one?
the actual property owner gets to pick, and in this case, it's Roberson's Roofing is the one that the
Okay.
property owner chose.
Okay.
And I can indicate that going forward, because a copy of the application is included with the 2 quotes.
Okay. All right, thank you. Now let us receive a motion, put a motion on the floor to approve this grant.
I'll make the motion that we go ahead and vote on whether we are going to approve this for the roofing project of this property.
Second, moved and properly second that we approve the recommendation of this grant be awarded. All those, no other discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Grant approved.
Thank you. And the next one is one of our residential facade grants. Miss Erica Henderson at 304 North Lincoln Street. is requesting a new fence to replace the chain link. And in this case, our residential grant is a little different for Midtown residents as opposed to the other CRA areas. In the Midtown properties, the resident is not responsible for the cost of the fence. We pay, and they have to explain this to the company, whether it's a fence or whether it's another one of the projects that are eligible. The company that they get the quotes from have to agree to get paid once the project is over. So we don't pay half up front and then half when it's over. We pay everything once the project is finished. And we have the company sign an affidavit at the time we approve their grant that they agree to get paid at the end of the job for the work. And that's what Ms. Henderson did. She contacted 2 companies, which you see on her application. She contacted AAA Fence and she contacted Liberty. And she chose to go with AAA Fence. And the cost of her fence is covered under the grant because we cover up to $10,000 for the residential grants. And the check, once this is approved and the work is finished, the check will go directly to the fence company.
Very good.
You know, I'm going to jump in on this one.
Yes, ma'am.
What glares out at me is that AAA is twice the amount that Liberty has estimated. And you're saying it's the sole discretion of the property owner?
Yes.
Okay.
And what I can do in this case, which I don't have in front of me, and I'm not finished with my review on this because of the amount of time that the property owner had been waiting. I usually have I have a copy of the quote, and I don't know if it's the same dimensions. That's one of the things I have to do as part of the review for the application. I have to make sure that the fence area that it's covering is the same. And I don't know that in the case. I do not have that back up in front of me.
That's what I was going to ask you. Was there any mitigating circumstances as to why one is twice the amount as the other? Are they similar in product or?
They should both be vinyl fencing, and that's one of the things that we require or ask the property owners to do when they're getting a quote, to make sure both quotes are for the same work.
Okay.
And in this case, I don't know why there's a difference.
A glaring
twice.
difference, yeah.
Twice the amount.
Michelle, I want to make a point about that. That's a good point you made. But oftentimes it's the time you're going to get it done. Maybe the other company will get it done sooner, and so they'll choose to go with the other company.
And you did mention that
or the
they've been
quality
waiting.
of service too as well.
Okay.
So that's why we give them that liberty. So it could be twice as much, but if that's what they want, we let them go with it.
Let me ask you this, and there is somebody in my community that a drunk driver took out part of their fence. Would this be covered under that?
Yes, if it's a chain link,
It's
we can
not, it's
replace it with
aluminum.
we can replace it with the vinyl.
Okay.
And one other thing that I mentioned that is obvious to me, but not always obvious, this fence company, Liberty Fencing, might not have agreed to get paid at the end of the job.
Okay.
Regardless of whether or not it's a grant from the city, we've not always gotten companies to say, sure, we'll wait till the end of the job. So those factors that Mr. Thomas mentioned, as well as they may say, no, I want 50% up front and 50% when it's finished.
All right.
But yes, they could apply for the, and our grants are on the website. Yep, and if they need to call me to ask questions about the grant program, they could call.
Thank you.
Yep. So this is the second one
Okay.
at this location for a new fence
That's,
to replace the chain link.
308 Lincoln. Just one question. Is contingency included in these numbers in case something happens?
No, but if it exceeds the 10,000, the approval that we give to the property owner as well as the fence company is anything in excess of $10,000. The property owner has to pay that before the project starts.
Okay, very
So if
good.
it exceeds the 10,000, it's on the property owner to pay that.
Okay, excellent.
And this amount includes the permit fee as well, because you have to pull a permit to install a fence.
Okay, very good, excellent. Okay, you've heard the report. We need to receive a motion for approval of the grant.
Can we do both of these as one vote? Same owner?
It's a different owner.
It's a different owner.
Yes, yeah.
Different owner, yeah.
304 and 30,
8.
Let's do it.
same last name, different house.
Yeah, do them
Yeah, it's-
let's do them serial item just in case. And,
Okay.
yeah, so everyone's 100% clear.
So move on the first.
Is there a second?
A second.
Moving probably second that we approve this grant for 304. Ms. Henderson, Ms. Erica. No further discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Grant approved. Now we entertain a motion for the next
308.
308.
property, 308.
Move that one too.
It's moved. Is there a second? Moving properly second that we approve the grant for 308 North Lincoln. No further discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. So is the order. Grant approved. Thank you.
So the next one is, this is sort of like a double shot, and you'll understand what I mean by a double shot. So this property was vacant for many, 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 many years. I lived probably one block west of this property for almost 25 years. And in the 25 years that I lived at my property, this property was undeveloped, vacant. So this is a property that the city donated for a first-time home buyer. And the home was built in a fairly short amount of time. And one of the things that we do with first-time home buyers is offer them the new fence. So in the cases that you saw before, it was a chain link fence being replaced with a vinyl fence. But in the case where we've donated a lot, and to make the home more secure, we're offering the new homeowner a residential facade grant to get a new fence. So in this case, Miss Jessica Rodriguez just became a new homeowner about 2 months ago.
Congratulations.
And this is at 516 South Street. This is right at the corner of Meridian and South Street. And she has submitted a residential facade grant for a new fence. And this particular one, I know, starts on the side of the house where the garage is and goes all the way to the backyard and all the way to the other side and connects on the side of the house.
And that's undeveloped land on the other side, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You mean to the west?
Both sides.
The corner, the corner is Marion.
From the back side of the house.
I think it is a lot. Martin Tooley lives behind her, and I can't remember if there is if it's a vacant lot, it's a single family lot. Yes, yes. So on this particular grant, if you look at her application, you see that she's gotten 2 quotes. Now, she has chosen to go with Superior Fence and Rail. And I put that down on the request. I have not yet confirmed with Superior Fence because the person who can sign and commit on behalf of the company has to agree. And Ms. Rodriguez did not do that before she turned in her application. I'm trying to get her application in to the board in February. And as of yesterday, I have not received the email back. I spoke with the owner of the company on the phone and explained the program, and they want to see the actual affidavit. They want to see the quote because one of their employees went out and measured and gave the quote, and they don't usually have requests like this. So the owner wanted to see the quote, and he also wanted to see our affidavit before he will commit to the grant program. But based on Ms. Rodriguez's choice, she wants to go with Superior Fence. And if her grant is approved based on the company who provides the fence, she will either get AAA or she'll get Superior Fence, but she will get a fence.
Very good.
So but difference of $60.
Correct. But the deal is, everybody does not want to wait until the end of the job to get paid. So, yeah.
Right, okay.
So that's it.
Well, let's say contingent upon the gentleman's agreement to, I mean, we can approve it now.
Yeah, we can approve it now, yes.
Yeah, and then the ball's in his court if he wants to agree to it or not.
Excellent. Will you offer the motion?
Absolutely, I would certainly like to put that motion forward that on the address of 516 South Street, Daytona Beach, we go ahead and approve contingent upon the fence owner agreeing to being paid after the job is done, that we go ahead and approve this motion for funding for this project.
Is there a second?
Second it.
Moved and properly seconded that we approve the grant for 516 South Street and all of that which Ms. Jones said. There being no further discussion, any other discussion?
I think all of them are based with that, with the contingency like that, right?
Well, all of the ones before, the first one with MLK, that is a roof replacement. And the company that she chose understands this
Okay,
is a
that's what I-
The owner
Okay.
of the property has already paid in the roof situation. The residential is a little different. The AAA for the Hendersons, the 304 and the 308, they're going with AAA. It's just, this is the only one where the property owner did not explain to the company the rules of the grant. And I called them and explained it, and they want to see the information.
Okay.
There being no other discussion, we're ready to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. So is the order. Grant approved. Thank you.
Thank you. So that finishes up the grants that I have for you this month, and you should be getting a couple more next month. The next item I wanted to, I don't know, okay, there we go. The next item is an update on the Campbell Hotel. It's the former Campbell Hotel. So in your packets that I mailed to you are the 4 proposals that we received. And I wanted to let you know that this information has been passed on to the commission, and they will make a decision as to what we do going forward. None of these actually kept the existing building in its current state and renovated it. They all have proposals to do something different. So staff still recommends demolition. There was a 90-day reprieve for the demolition. Staff still recommends a demolition. What we would have to do is just revise the quote, because the quote was only good for 60 days. And that was back in, I believe, October, that the commission asked staff to wait 90 days to see who's interested in renovating the building. And this is what we got, which is not a renovated building. So we're still going to recommend demolition. And this is being presented to you to give you an update, as well as give me some feedback on whether or not you think demolition is bad, good, and any other feedback you would want to give us on the Campbell Hotel.
Okay. So that's what you want from us now?
Yes. The update is we got 4 responses, and moving forward, we still recommend demolition of the building, and then we'll do an RFP for the property to be developed.
Okay. So I saw on, question, can I raise a question?
Yes, sir.
So I think I saw on the, so the sales price was $110,000?
No, sir. We did not say anything about selling. We said something about developing, renovating the existing building. So those type things we negotiate. The price is not on the table right now. The scope of improving the building is on the table. We've not entertained any of the proposals that were submitted to us, other than we've collected them, we've reviewed them, and they don't address what our original intent was.
Okay, but one of them was based on an offer to purchase for
Yes,
110,
yes,
right?
yes.
Okay.
Yes,
All right.
yep. Which is far below what we paid.
That's, well, okay. That's what I noticed that. And,
Okay, question.
Yes, ma'am.
So the city wants to, I want to make sure I understand. The city wants to tear this down and put something else in its place. So these 4 proposals are for 4 different developers that want to do the same thing, or they want to keep and add 2?
None of these reflect the current Campbell Hotel. None of these.
Okay,
If you look at them,
They're all different.
they have their own vision for what they want to do with the property.
okay,
Which is not what we asked for. We
Okay.
asked for tell us who wants to keep the building and renovate it.
okay,
So what
right.
we want is someone to propose, which didn't happen, keeping the structure and renovating it.
okay,
So now that we've received proposals that don't address that, we've passed this on to the commission. Staff is still going to recommend that the building be demolished.
Okay.
And what's going to go there is apartments as well as retail space.
okay. So if that is the recommendation or the idea of
Yes.
what the city wants to do or staff wants to do, would one of these developers be a consideration? Because I see that they want to partner
Yes.
with the city.
Yes.
Okay.
So the way that we did this was an email.
Okay,
The proper way to do a partnership through our purchasing regulations is you have to do an RFP. You have to notice the public, and that's handled through our purchasing department. Staff writes up what we want the public to do, and each one of these have an option to do that.
Okay.
It's their option to build something new on the property if the commission chooses to demo the property.
okay.
I have a question, Ms. Tolliver. Well, let me just say, I don't want to see another piece of Midtown disappear. You know, that just hurts me to my heart right there. Okay, I don't want to see the heritage of Midtown be gone, even if that does mean improvements. And you stated that there's nobody that's interested in building the property and improving the property as is.
Yes, there was, can I give you some information that I don't know if you all had? There was a structural assessment to the building.
Yes.
And before we even recommended demo, there was a demolition order to demolish the building because there was a fire mainly on the second floor, and it did a lot of damage to the second floor, and part of the damage from the second floor came down to the first floor. Prior to that, there was one area being used as a barber shop, and the upstairs was not being used. It was not in any condition to use for apartments. And then the other side on the first floor was empty, and someone went in there who was gonna open it up as an internet cafe that never opened. I say that to say, once the structure was assessed, the report that we have, and we passed that report on to all of the 4 who submitted, they determined that you could probably keep the foundation, you could probably keep 2 walls, but you still are gonna have to have the foundation and the walls assessed once you did that to do something to the building. And I don't know the section of the code that tells you this, but once you improve your property, whether it's your own personal home or a commercial property, once you exceed that threshold of 50% of the value of the home or the property, everything that you do has to be brought up to code. So for us, I don't like destroying property, but what do you do when we're not builders, we're not developers. No one in the community or outside of the state of Florida or even the US, this went to, was it China or Japan? We even sent some of this stuff to outside of the state of Florida. No one has come back to us and say, we want to keep it, or even these that we receive proposals on. This is an undertaking, and nobody has come to us and say we're willing to do it. And we're not developers.
Right.
I would love to keep it,
What is the time, all right, say that demolition is a given, unfortunately. What timeline are we looking at for an investor to come in there and upgrade the property?
It depends on the response to the RFPs, just like this response ended up, we got to start at another point.
Ground zero,
So,
okay.
and how long will it take us to get an RFP? Depending, now if we get the commission to make a decision, say in March or April, shortly after that, we would send it to our purchasing department to advertise to anybody else who's interested. And that could take anywhere from 3 weeks to a month for us to get something to purchasing. And then purchasing puts it in their queue. They don't know their workload. They put it in their queue. They'll get to it. They advertise it. They use a third-party system to advertise. And anyone who's registered with the city would get a notice that this property is ready to be developed. Timeline-wise, it depends on what they're building.
Right.
Okay.
My last question is going to be, because I'm not as familiar with this as I should be, this
No
piece of
problem.
property. How big is it? What is this, the
Off the top of my head, I can't tell you, but I do know that it was built long before the current codes were in place. It is, oh my goodness. For the sake of discussion, to me, it reminds you of a single-family lot with a parking lot, if I'm assessing that correctly.
I'm just
It's about the
wondering-
size 50 feet wide by maybe 110 feet deep. And then you have a parking lot that comes with it. I think there are about 15, 18 parking spots that go along with it.
what would it accommodate? Maybe some single usage?
So one of
retail or-
the good things about that area is there is no commercial parking requirement. So
Okay.
for us, that's a good thing because whoever we partner with, we have parking that supports Daisy Stocking Park. So if you choose to use the space for the parking spaces as well as where the existing building is, it could be used for whatever that parking lot in the back of the property that supports Daisy Stocking Park could be used for. It could also be the people who live upstairs don't have to do anything but park to live and then walk downstairs and use some of the retail space that's going to be built.
Okay, so we're looking at hopefully a multi-use building.
Absolutely, yes. Because the only way to activate MMB is to have bodies there. You can't rely 100% on the students. You can't rely 100% on the people who live around the Campbell Hotel. And we're all given the fact that if something was going to happen there, it would have happened long before we purchased it or the fire
I
happened.
drove by there on the way here and they have a sign out, big changes coming soon or
Yes,
something like that.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
that.
Question.
Yes,
I don't mean to upset people. Take it in the spirit, coming from my heart.
absolutely.
Michelle, can you tell me when is the last really significant commercial project that happened in Midtown new, other than a car dealership or Bethune-Cookman?
The aquarium was the most recent.
Okay, that was
Daytona
renovation.
Aquarium.
That's
That was
renovation.
renovation.
No, nothing new, other than the Dollar Tree and the Family Dollar that's on ISB across from,
Let's talk about MMB.
no, sir, zero.
Okay. I grew up, I was born and raised on MMB. And as much as I love the heritage and the culture, I'm tired of seeing paint put on the same buildings. And some of them with asbestos and everything else. Because I've seen this my whole life, y'all. Where somebody comes and renovates the same building and we don't see any growth. And folks get emotional about it, so do I. But at some point, we can still recognize history. But we gotta grow. Now, y'all can be mad at me, But until we make the decision that we gotta grow, we're gonna still be here in the same spot. And sometimes you gotta till the soil to plant new seeds. That's all I need to
must.
say.
That's a must, and that's what I was waiting to hear. Any further? Any further discussion? What is the action that we need to take on this?
I don't see it any different than the grants. If there's a unanimous voice that you all want to bring forward, I would accept that in the form of a vote or individual comments, however you choose to move forward.
Are we voting to demolish it, or are we voting to?
It's if you want to demolish, the vote is to demolish. If you want to keep, the vote is to keep. But one of the two are going to happen. And it's not up, I can tell you what we recommend, but it's up to you all to decide what you support. Staff recommends demolition and then putting out an RFP for someone to develop on the property.
I have seen these proposals saying, city, give us the land, donate the land, sell us the land at discount, give us an opportunity to do something else here. I think we need to do a new thing and still recognize history. I've been in the Campbell Hotel so many times in my life. I grew up on Walnut Street. Okay? So I can tell, I could have given tours of that building. But at some point, we got to recognize it for what it was, what it did, and pay homage to it. And then do something new. So
And just
I would move that we support what the staff has said to us, the professionals who have been in the building, done the research, got the data. At some point, we got to support what the staff is telling us.
That is a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
I second it.
Moved and properly seconded that we accept the recommendation offered by staff to move forward with demolition. Any further discussion?
Yes, I have to say something.
Yes.
We have not seen anything grow in our area in Midtown. And it breaks my heart because you try so hard to have things to grow and nothing ever happens on Mary McLeod Bethune or on Martin Luther King. And as soon as you do something that is prosperous or do something that is an advantage to the community, it's so much pushback. It makes people, the residents, developers, weary the fight that you have to go through in order to get anything done in the Midtown area. And it should not be that way. Everything is growing on International. Everything is growing on whether it's beachside or what is it? LPGA, but I'm talking about downtown. We have nothing. Esplanade. We have nothing. And nothing grows in Midtown if we don't start investing and having a path for people to figure out how to do it and have a helping hand along the way and not so much red tape. Nothing is going to grow. I've lived here all my life and I have seen so much dilapidation in Mary McLeod Bethune and Martin Luther King. And we shouldn't have that. We should not have that. I know people said something about, Shiloh Church. It was time because nothing was there for many, many, many years. It was time to let it go so that something can grow in that area. So I am all for growth and the possibility of what can happen here. We need to be moving forward. And we need to have a way and a path for people to know how to do it. It's so difficult to figure it out. And we should have a different path so that the residents could kind of come together, or investors, people that really want to try to invest in our area, because we have nothing and it's not growing.
Well said. Well said. We received that. Is there any more discussion on the motion that is on the floor to approve the staff's recommendation?
Call the question.
All right. Let us vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposes nay. So the order is approved for staff to proceed with the project of demolition. And before you go, is there another?
I would like to add
Proposal?
one item.
Okay, before you
Mr.
do that,
Chair.
I think it's appropriate to add, based on your comments and your comments, I think we need to have a further discussion on exactly what you mentioned, and to figure out what do we consider to be the red tape, what issues or what concerns those may appear to be. And second, the current placard system that we have to hold our history. Can you give me a picture of that? Does anybody have a current picture? I can't remember.
They just put the markers out. It's
Markers.
actually a Black Heritage Trail. You're talking about for our branding?
Yes, yeah.
It would be in the handout. I don't remember a placard being an example, but the logo would go on whatever we, where is
In
it?
moratorium.
It's over there. I don't have that.
So, but what is the current placard system for holding that, those historical markers?
So it depends on the designation. For the Black Heritage Trail, each one of the locations just got a sign posted on them.
Okay,
I don't know, the federal is a metal, it's almost mounted on the wall for the
right.
federal. I don't know what the state,
The state has one
Placard
at the
is-
Lucas Foundation. I think that's the
Okay.
state too.
okay.
so it's a green, grayish monument sign that's put in on the property, and then the city of Daytona has a historic designation. And I'm not sure what that piece of object is to display on the property.
Okay.
But for the Campbell Hotel, we have always thought about and want to save the sign, just like at Shiloh, which I'll put up next. But anyway, the sign would be saved to the best of our ability, because the sign is not in good shape. We may have to do a replica
Okay.
of the Campbell Hotel sign. And of course, the monument sign, not a monument sign, it's a sign right now that's on the property, or it should be. But all of the Black Heritage Trail properties has a sign that has been designed by the same company pretty much who did our marketing for Midtown. Yes, yes,
It's similar,
yes.
okay.
And that's for Black Heritage Trail. But just like what I'm doing now, anything that happens to the Campbell Hotel or any property in Midtown will come here. And you
Right.
all can provide input on whatever we get when we do the RFP, and signature it the way you want to signature the property.
Okay, very good, very good. Thank you for that.
Sure.
And yes.
I'm sorry,
Yes.
I
No, no,
wanted
go ahead.
to just talk a little bit about what's next for
Okay.
the Camel Hotel.
Okay, yes.
So, since we have a recommendation by the advisory board, Michelle and I will now take it forth to the city commission to ask for their approval to demo the building. And if we get favorable approval from them, we would work simultaneously on two tracks. One track will be to get the property demo at some point. We work with our permit and license department. The second track is that Michelle and I will be working on a scope of work. And the scope of work will be essentially saying what she talked about earlier, is that we want to see residential and retail. And it could be variations of that. We don't get into negotiations of the property. how much you want to sell it for, we want to donate it, or however, until we find a developer who we believe is going to develop the property in which we state in the scope. So once the RFP is out and we get results, staff formulates a committee. That committee makes a recommendation on what they see, what they're evaluated based on the submittals, and we make a recommendation to the city commission that we want this developer to develop the property. Before we get there, though, we're going to bring it back to you all so that you all can make a decision on do you believe that what the developer has proposed is something that you want to see. So if you all don't like it, then we won't take it forward to city commission. I think that's a commitment we should make on behalf, because you all are have advisory board. We could take it forward, but we would rather get full participation from this advisory board before we go anywhere. And once we agree, or at least once the city commission approves that developer, before we get there, I'm sorry, I'm going a little ahead of myself. That's where Michelle and I are negotiating with this developer. They're going to pay us for the land. We're going to donate the land. We don't know, because it's all depending on what that development that they're proposing, what it's going to cost, how we're going to participate as a partner. So there's a lot of things that go on. And sometimes those contracts take 3 to 4 months to put together.
Absolutely.
Or longer.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Thank you. Yeah. Yes, Michelle.
And I'm just making a point that you said we want to have further discussion on the red tape.
Yes. Yes. Oh, Ms. Hardy, you had a question?
I had a quick question.
Yes.
Yes.
So if we choose a developer or find a developer that's willing to do both commercial and residential, in regards to the residential portion of this new potential building, will it be considered, or are we looking for a developer that is going to be offering, I wouldn't say low-income housing, but, housing affordable for the residents of the area?
Yes. And we incentivize affordable apartments. And the number of units, it's all going to depend on whether they do 2 floors of apartments, 3 floors of apartments. But yes, there will always be, there should not ever be another all low-income development in the city limits of Daytona Beach. It doesn't work. It doesn't work for the residents. It doesn't work for the community. So we encourage mixed income and definitely affordable apartments.
Thank you.
Are we requesting a certain percentage? Are we
It
asking
depends, and that's negotiation.
With the developers.
Some they may decide to do a number, and only a certain number is affordable, but we incentivize the affordable piece
Exactly.
more than the market rate. Because we have market rate out on LPGA and Williamson. So that element is up for negotiation.
As well as the
Absolutely.
commercial portion.
Yep.
Making those commercial units affordable to people who are in this community. So if there's some negotiation back and forth with the developer on providing, 4 or 5 different little bays,
Yes.
and they want us to participate, then we want you to offer those bays to someone in the community who are going to, operate a business, but you're going to have a reduced rate for those particular individuals.
And
yeah.
go ahead. But on a side note, we don't need any more, and I love car washes, but we don't need any more
Yes.
car washes, and we don't need any more salons.
Can I add to that? Tolliver said no more vape shops either.
That
No
one
more
too,
vape shops.
absolutely.
Yeah. You
These
gotta know.
smoke shops are taking over.
Yeah. You got to know.
Yeah.
No, understood. Yeah, that's appropriate. So yes, you're right on. We need to have that further discussion, and also that part of that discussion can be what I present at the city commission, and I'm looking for a date in April. So
Okay.
yeah, so those 2 things that we need to discuss as soon as possible. Yes.
So if I could, Mr. Chairman, add
Yes,
one more
absolutely.
item.
Yes.
Ms. Richardson mentioned Shiloh. It's amazing how we see the same thing, we say the same thing. So I'm gonna move it forward, Joe. Don't go forward yet. So as our update, I want to share with you where we are with the property. And I want you to see the current property that we own. It's highlighted in red. And the reason we are sharing this with you is because staff would like time to purchase the 4 lots that are highlighted in yellow. Because when we met with the planning director last week, I think it was last week, a couple weeks ago, he assessed the red outline. And he measured it and said, you don't quite have an acre. And the highest and best use for this piece here, and this is the corner of Cedar Street and MLK, the highest and best use would be if you could get 20 units because of the current zoning, RDM 5, I believe, is the current zoning for the yellow as well as the red outline property. And the highest and best use would be 20 units, 20 apartment units on this particular property. So
That's the whole block, right? It's the whole
actually it's half. It's from Cedar halfway down MLK. And that will give us 20 good units. We didn't discuss at the time any, how many bays or units we would have for residential, but we'd like residential as well as some other use other than just apartments on this property. But I'm sharing this with you because I need your feedback on what do you think? Do you think, and I'll tell you staff recommendation. We recommend that we are given an opportunity to acquire the 4 that are highlighted in yellow and then move forward with an RFP. That's what we would like to do.
We're requiring the 4 give you the 1 acre or still?
Yes, it will give us a little over 1 acre.
It will give you the 1 acre.
Yes.
Okay.
The 4 that are in yellow, are there vacant lots?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
They are being lived in, just like we did at the town center, wherever that is over there. We knock on their door, not me or Ken, but we approach the property owner and see if they would be interested in selling their property where they actually live. Yeah.
Has that process began yet? That process has
No,
not begun.
because we cannot do any more transactions
Right.
with CRA funds,
Good.
according to the city manager. And there was pushback from on high, from the
Right.
commissioners.
Right.
You know, in one instance, the board members say that they weren't aware of a certain thing, and the city manager say, okay, we're gonna do this for all boards. So instead of spending money and bringing it to you, or bringing it to you and spending the money, we're gonna establish going forward, anything that requires spending money, we're gonna bring it to you before we actually do it.
And what was the date? You remember the date of that adjustment?
It was it February when your item went? First meeting in February?
First meeting in February.
Was it? Seemed like it was
They had
before that.
before that.
January, yeah.
January.
Last meet, yeah, the second meeting in January.
Okay.
So as of February and going forward, we're bringing things to you to get your input on and see if you want to add something to what we recommend or you want to go with what we're recommending.
Any other questions?
I want
Yes,
to just
absolutely.
add to Michelle, to give us the best chance of developing this property, you need an acre.
Yeah.
Anything
Right.
less than that, we couldn't get the density that
Density,
we
right.
want.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, do you need somebody to knock on these doors?
With discretion, with discretion, with discretion.
Okay, hold on. So, trying to think, what is, okay.
1, 2, 3.
We making a motion?
Yes, we need to entertain a motion and approve the staff recommendation.
When do we hear some public complaint? Yeah.
At your discretion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm ready to hear.
Do you want to hear from the board first or do you want
Yes,
to hear
from the
public?
board first and then from public. Anything? Ms. Hardy?
I think my only question would be, in the idea of approaching these homeowners or renters, whoever they are, to consider selling their properties for the use for apartments. Have the city of Daytona consider how much value they would give for each property?
So what we typically do, regardless of where the property is or what the property is used for, we do an appraisal. And first, we ask them, because sentimental value doesn't have a value. It's in your heart, it's not on paper, honestly. You can't value, my mama them house, so forth and so on. So we do an appraisal, and typically we're catching them off guard because it's their home. So we do an appraisal, and based on that appraisal, if there's anything that we can negotiate up, we do. But the appraisal is typically the starting point. Even if they say, I want to sell my house for XYZ number of dollars, we still have to do an appraisal. And in some cases, we may have to do a second appraisal. But the appraisal is the baseline for negotiating. And we typically negotiate up as far as we can because we have to sell this. Specifically, Ken Thomas has to sell it because I'm not standing up here. He has to sell it to Mr. Fiacher, and then Mr. Fiacher has to feel comfortable enough to say, let's put it on the agenda and present it to the commission to make a decision. But it can't be an outlandish number. If the appraisal come in at $300,000 and they want $500,000 for their property, that's probably not gonna happen. We gotta, be reasonable, but we do take into account, like Ken has said numerous times, these people don't have a for sale sign in their yard. They were not willing to sell their house on their own. We're coming to them asking if they would be interested in selling.
Are they 4 different homeowners? Or are we dealing
Yes,
with
4 different
okay.
homeowners.
4 different
Yeah.
homeowners, yeah.
That's all I had.
Yeah. Anything? No. Anything else, Shepherd? Anything?
So if they do not agree for that, and you already have purchased what is there, what could go there?
Probably not much of a project.
No.
Only because there's return on investment. And when you spend a lot of time trying to rezone it for something or, even a planned development for something that's less than 20 units, what good is it gonna do the community if you put something on there now? I don't have the answer to that, but based on what I know, based on the zoning, you need more land.
Okay.
Just by, I don't know if you can see, no, you can't see it. I'm trying to use the laser. We happen to own 2 single-family lots on Division Street.
Okay. That's
Across
what I was
from where the yellow is. But there are Mr. Thomas is good at negotiating. But there is always an option to see if there is a way to get them to sell. For instance, if we were to see if it would click, anyway, see where 543 is across the street at Division? That's a quadruplex. Immediately north of that is a vacant lot. And then immediately north of that is another vacant lot. We own those 2 lots.
Okay.
So in my mind, and if I was 80 years old and you want to move me from my house, our best option in that case is you won't have to leave Division, but you will have to leave that. If that becomes an option, they may say, no, I'm not selling nothing, then the answer is no.
I'm just spitballing here. Are we set on a rectangle? Why can we not move up the red line to that vacant lot and perhaps the next vacant lot up there and utilize those 2 lots?
Which direction, Ms. Shepherd?
North.
No, it would be
You got
north.
to close the street, right?
We need
And
depth.
on MLK, yeah.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And to me, this is phase 1 because as Ms. Desmore may add to, take away from. This is part of a bigger project. Going from Cedar all the way to Loomis is the long-term vision, but we need to move on something now, because like everybody keeps saying, Miss Richardson said it, Mr. Thompson said it, we've not had new development. And we would like the bigger development, but to get something going right away, realistically, you need more land.
Very good. All right.
Okay.
Anything else, Ms. Bonner?
No,
Okay.
I mean, I was just thinking about possibly, the addition of the other north part, but
Yeah.
like you say, the way that it's outlined,
work.
it's a little difficult to
Yes.
to see that extension right away.
Right, right. Yes, it would be.
Yeah, but I guess just my thing is, I agree with Ms. Hardy on, the fact that I guess however the residents are approached and that kind of thing will be the, be all end all kind of thing.
Well, we may hear I think we'll hear a little bit of that coming from public comment. And we'll receive.
Yeah.
We've got to. Tell you what, let me go with Mr. John. We'll hear you first. And then I'll say.
John Dixon, 413 North Grandview on Beachside.
Yes, sir.
I came with 2 ideas, and now I've got 6. One, when you brought up the fences, why they were not willing to wait till the end. If you remember, Jim Chisholm would wait 3 to 6 months to pay. So people were not willing to work with the city, because you can't wait if you're in business 3 to 6 months.
Yeah.
You did something, you want to get paid, and Jim would wait, because he'd put the money in the bank and get the interest. Business don't like that. Secondly, again, the reason why this is coming to you is that Cruisin' Cafe came up to the Main Street Board. They had a meeting, and within a week, they were not told about the purchase of the Cruisin' Cafe, but it went before the city commission. And they were like, we just had a meeting. Why didn't you? Well, we've been working on this for 2 or 3 years. And they were like, nobody told us. You all hit this several years ago when Orange Avenue was being redone. You didn't realize it, or the board at the time, that you had $1 million sitting in your account. And Jim Chisholm wanted to take the $1 million. And there was like, what $1 million? And they had built up an account for Orange Avenue up to $1 million, and they wanted to apply it towards the roadway. So there are things that we're not told, and now Pietro wants it. Well, let everybody know, and that's why you're getting this. Third, the CVB, I was just at a meeting for the CVB, and they want events, all right? There was an event planned. They want big events, okay? A gentleman that was the public leisure services director wanted an event on Martin Luther King down by Shiloh and in that area. And every so many blocks, they wanted another venue. And the city said, no, absolutely not. It would take up too much of a major street. Steve Miller asked for something on, when we did a little walkthrough years ago, something on MMB, because it's like a dead street. There's nothing happening. You used to have a lot of bars on MLK, and they're all gone. He says there's no place to go out and party. That's why if you look at Seabreeze, why is Seabreeze 80% black? Because there's nothing in the black community. There's several people that came to me that, well, what can we do? How can we get a bar, a place to dance? There was a gentleman that tried for 3 years to get a bar on the Nova Road in that shopping center. It's now open, but it has to close at 12. So there's a lot of fighting going on that kind of thing. So I'm suggesting that there needs to be a very large cultural event in the black community. CBB, I just said, we have 9 major events. The Super Bowl was in the paper today, 100,000 people, a little less than 100,000 people went to the Super Bowl. Fantasy Fest in Key West, their big event, is only 93,000 people. We have 9 events over 100,000 people. Nobody else has that. We have 2 new events, Jeep Week and the music event at the Speedway, are over 250,000 people. We need a major event in the Black community. Now, several people want Martin Luther King. They want the Black Week Festival at Cypress Park. That's not the kind of event. What I'm suggesting to you all is that you have several very famous people that came from Daytona Beach or were in Daytona Beach. Everybody knows Mary McLeod Bethune. Everybody knows Jackie Robinson. You never hear Thurston. He is a philosopher that I knew when I was a kid, and I lived in Miami, but he's never mentioned in Daytona Beach. Neil, whatever her name was, they have an event over on the West Coast for her. She lived in Daytona Beach.
Zora Neale Hurston, yeah.
Yep. So who else lived in Daytona Beach? Who is prominent? Besides Carter. Vince Carter, of course. But I'm talking about cultural. So I think we need a cultural event, tie it with Bethune-Cookman, and have an event on MMB that pushes the 20, 30, 50, 100,000 people over time. You can't open it up over time. Jeep Week didn't start big, but it grew. I think there's time, and I'm sorry, BCR was not the event that was something that you guys wanted. Daytona Beach hated it, all right? You don't want any kind of sexual event. Cultural event is something like Paula Reed is doing very well with her book. She has a book event where the writers and the authors come in.
The Fresh Book Festival.
Right. She's doing it, and it's growing. So there is a need for it and an ability to grow. So I'm asking you to think about that. CVB will back you, and they need it. There's a vacant land that you all have acquiring on ISB. I talked to Michelle Tolliver about it. There's enough land to park cars. There's property, there are buildings on ISB. If you can convert them to be used by food trucks, a temporary month-by-month basis, but have something on ISB visual, see things happening. Use that house for a bathroom or an event kind of thing, and then use all the vacant land for parking, and then have your event on ISB. It's going to be very, very visual. So when people drive by, they're seeing tents, they're seeing people parking, they're seeing things going on. You can hide them all you want in the middle of Midtown, in Scarlet Golden, but nobody driving ISB is going to see it. So this is very visual, and to me, it's advantageous. I raised my hand, and Mr. Thompson looked at me when I did.
What?
When they were talking about those Meridian barriers, and they said nobody would oppose it. I would oppose it because, as I've opposed things in the past, it's money. All right? Downtown, if you remember, it was $30,000. They have 50 some odd events a year. So they would pay less than $1,000 to use those Meridian. Beachside would be $7,000 to $10,000 every time we used it. So they get to use it for a couple of hundred. We have to spend $10,000. I find that unfair. You guys would pay $4,000. Why does downtown get to use them for all their events for a couple hundred a year, and you guys have to pay $4,000 a year? Do you understand why? I think it's imbalanced. So if you look at the numbers, that's why. They're great. It's what we need, but a little fairness goes a long way. And the HUD lots, you have, remember Hope 6? Remember they redid it?
Yes.
They also put, I think it's 52 or 54 lots on Cypress, all right? They're just sitting there, and they're saying, oh, well, we can't build it on them because of the eagle. Well, that's a lot of BS, garbage, all right? That reason is for 6 months out of the year. What do you do for the other 6 months? They can put a whole house up in 6 months. And it's been what, 15 years? There's also about 18 lots right off of 2nd Avenue, all right? It's just sitting there, all ready to do. So if you could take 1 year and put slabs on all, because they're already, water and electric's already sitting right in the front, all right? Put a bunch of slabs up and put up what my parents did and what everybody else did after the war is a smaller house. So people move in and then they add on. So if you put 1,000 square foot cement pad and you put a smaller house on it, let's say 700 square feet, and when they have the money and they have the children or the need, then they can add on. But at least they have the house now, all right? Rather than wait until they have, the mayor keeps pushing this 4 bedrooms, 3 bath, 4-car garage for starting. To me, that's ridiculous, all right? That is not a starter home.
Where did you hear that from?
A guy named Henry.
I've never heard that.
Yeah, he's mayor of a city on the coast.
I never heard that.
But that's what his idea is. He doesn't want to have affordable housing in Midtown, all right? He wants affordable housing everywhere else because he doesn't want a slum, all right? So to me, if you want affordable housing where the land is cheap and where's the need, like what they're
Yeah.
planning on MMB, 3 and 4 stories high, you get the volume of people there, because what's happening is you're
Yeah, I know.
losing your population, so your businesses can't survive without bodies buying.
Exactly. Yes.
Now, the mayor said, well, I go to that store, I bought my kid ice cream. Well, once a month, buying 2 ice creams at a store is not going to keep them in business.
Exactly.
You need bodies
So-
to be there on a constant basis. So
So
density is
can you-
great.
Yes.
And lastly-
this last one, yeah, because we
Yeah,
gotta
you
have
gotta
to move
go.
on. Yes.
The RFPs, please read the RFPs. We had 2 RFPs on Beachside for the CRAs. They were pitting. Oh, they were terrible. Absolute. We didn't get any responses because they were so bad. All right? So whoever writes your RFPs, take the time to read them, because like we wanted upscale housing. You don't say, oh, you have to move into a slum. It's a terrible location. Nobody wants to be there, but we want you to build $500,000 to $1 million homes.
My goodness.
They're not going to do it.
Well, thank you, Ms. Joe. All right, excellent. Come on, we'll receive Ms. Desmore. Get ready.
I need all the information.
Put my hands up. Okay,
There you go.
Lucy Desmore, y'all know me who I am. I'm a real estate broker in the area. And the first thing I'd like to say to this man back here, I do affordable housing 99 days out of a month, and it's only 30 days in there. Please stop talking, because I've done so many homes in Daytona Beach and the county area for affordable housing.
Yes.
And Mr. Mayor is all for plain old fashioned 3-bedroom, 2-bath, little 1-car garage, whatever you want to do. I do them every day. I've got somebody under contract right now over on Essex Road, so please stop talking. Don't say that. I'm just saying. I'm just giving you
Come on,
I'm giving
talk
you
to
the
us.
opinion of my experience, because I do this every day for a living.
Speak to
That's
us.
what I do.
Speak to us, please.
Affordable housing. Okay, so now let me go to the Shiloh project. I've already presented things to the 4 houses over that the set of property behind there on Division
Okay,
Street.
yes.
Been there, done that, did the little thing, put it in the mail, mailed out little letters and said, would you want to sell your property, blah, blah, blah. Now, so put a pin in that. If you cross the street over on Division and go over to the corner of Cedar Street and Division, I have a gentleman who has a 2-story home there that is ready to sell. He's just waiting on the city development department to let him know when or whatever to purchase the property. He's already been informed that it would take 3 appraisals to go with the highest use. That's already been done. Then he purchased the property behind there on Division Street, on that side of the street where Cedar is meeting Division. He's got 1, 2, 3 other houses that backs up to the apartment complex thing, already done, sitting and waiting for this Shiloh project that he's willing, ready to sell and do that. Now, we know the property next to his house at 547, 544, whatever, Cedar Street, is owned by the city. There are like 3 lots there that take you all the way up to George Street, or whatever that next street is, waiting for the Shiloh project to encompass. I am working with a company that would like to be a part of that RFP when it comes out. If you go down that street and take a left on George Street, you have 3 brand new homes already done with City Daytona Beach first-time home buyers that didn't pay $499,000 for the house. They just paid whatever they qualified for. Across the street is a 2-story structure that is being rented out right now as a rooming house. The same gentleman that I am in conversation with will let that property go as well, and you can have townhomes and put there. Now, that was put out of the conversation back in the day when all of this started being discussed. So we took that off the table. He still will allow a personal thing to come up and say, well, put it on the RFP as an additional attachment that he would like to see some townhomes on that piece of property. But he's in compliance with what the city wanted for the Shiloh project, phase 1. Phase 2 is additional after that property, starting and taking you down to Loomis Avenue and Martin Luther King Boulevard. So I just wanted to make sure that's clarified. Lucy Desmore has already sent letters out to those 4 pieces of property, and the gentleman that has the property on the corner of Cedar, he approached the people across the street and they are willing to sell. He's already had that conversation. We were just simply waiting for the RFP to come out and let us know where to put that stuff in for attachments and take it on and do. We were told to have enough for parking spaces, and that would be the encumbrance. We already know that we have X amount of apartments in there that can be put in there. We already have commercial space and been in contact with the people that would do business there that would grow that community and provide jobs. And so commercial spaces such as a LabCorp or a medical clinic, that would be where the elderly people didn't have to leave their community and go catch a ride out on Klein Morris to get to the LabCorp, because there's one already right in the neighborhood. Lucy's already been in conversation with them.
Question for you. Regarding those 4 particular homes,
A couple of them are vacant lots, not all homes.
They're not all homes. How many are vacant? Oh, the
The
4.
ones that I pointed out are
Yes.
4 homes.
Those are 4 homes.
So there are
Okay.
the vacant lot next to them there where they start out, but I've already done mine.
But the 4,
Yes.
I want to stay on the 4 because I don't want us to move to phase 2 yet, because we've got to address phase 1. Has there been an agreement with the staff, and is there a purchase sale agreement on those 4 homes?
That I know of, because I didn't get anything, a response back after I I went up to one of those persons' house and took the letter to them in person and sent in the mail.
And so
Same thing, and did not get a response. Well, the response I got from, they're gonna wait to see, I'm not gonna say what the person said.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Well, but our response as the board would be to authorize the city, if I'm hearing you correct, to authorize the city to begin the negotiation. Where are we, so we know?
So the purpose for
What we
bringing
need
the
to do.
Shiloh property to you is to get your feedback. Our request is that we acquire the 4
The 4,
properties
right.
that I showed on the map.
Yes.
And that gets presented to the city manager. And then he presents that to the commission as marching orders for us. Right now, we just have the one that's outlined in red that's on the screen.
Do we still have to approve that? What you just said, to
Yes.
authorize you to
Yes.
to move forward
And so
with
the
those
ones that are
negotiations?
across the street on the corner of Cedar
We-
and Division, those are no longer to be a part of the project, or they are or not?
They are not
Want
just
those to be
we're just,
included, because I approached and did the people on the other side of the street who are in where you say your lots are located on Division. that person owns the other houses that take you up to Cedar Street, and he's willing and ready to sell. And I was told to let him know to go ahead and to do whatever, and someone would start working on 3 appraisals to get that first house out of the way.
Mr. Chair,
All right, yeah,
if I may,
Yeah, I'm just-
we're just gonna work on what's in yellow right now.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah, that's what I want
Yeah.
to make sure that we
We're not-
focus on the
We're not
four.
on the, on the east side
Right.
of the
Right.
of division.
Yes.
We may at some point, but right now, we're just gonna work on those 4 lots, those 4 properties.
Right. Okay.
And
So
what the city manager wants accomplished is that you all are aware of what we're doing.
right.
You provide us with some feedback.
Yes.
It's not a thumbs up or thumbs down, but if you have some reservations, let us know. But what we're doing is implementing, redevelopment
Right.
in the area, and as everybody stated, there's things that need to be done. So we as staff are working with our planning staff to say, hey, how can we develop this property without a lot of limitations? And so we need to get those four properties. Now, let me say this: if those 4 folks decided they don't want to sell, we're not buying. And more than likely, we're not going to develop residential. We'll probably just do some commercial.
Okay.
So even now, if those 4 don't become a part of where the red is, then that whole area where the red is would then become just commercial with mixed type use businesses in there and no residential at all.
Yeah, we
because-
probably- yeah,
Because
because-
you're not getting the 4 places that make the other residential.
Well,
So
yeah,
that-
and Lucy, and the reason being is because we're trying to get the density that we need
Right,
to do the
right.
residential. And so that's why we're getting those other 4. Other than that, if we don't get the other 4, we change the zoning, because I don't think the zoning right now allows for the commercial. But either
Right.
way, we'll just have to design that project to make it commercial and not worry about residential.
So on the front part of Martin Luther King Boulevard, we have the building with the apartments showing, and it was like 24 or whatever apartments, as well as the commercial that could cover without having the 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces of property. And that is, something that our
Again,
group put together.
Our planning director says that the current zoning does not allow that.
Okay.
It does not allow that. You do not have enough acreage to do anything right now other than about 16 apartments.
Okay. And at first we thought it would be like 25, 26 apartments back when everybody first started having discussions, but now it's the
I have
planning
not
director.
been, Ms.
said 16.
Desmore, I have never been under the impression that the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lots in red, I've never been under the impression that that could do a mixed-use project. That has never been part of my understanding. So I'm not sure why you thought
Okay, so
24
that-
units would accommodate the red. That has never been my understanding, that 24 units plus retail could be accomplished in that footprint of the red.
Okay.
So
That's not,
So,
that's
for
not
the-
the conversation,
yeah.
but I'll let that.
For the sake
I'll leave
of,
that alone
for the sake
right
of
now and
time.
go and have a
Yeah.
sit, have a seat.
yeah, yes.
Because that's not the conversation.
Right.
And it can be, you're recording it, so put
Yeah.
it on record.
Right.
That's not. But however, any kind of way that is set out there that it can be betterment for that area, that's where my group would like to
Right.
be. We don't care. It needs to be, like she
Absolutely.
said, a change in
Absolutely.
the area. Like Brother
Absolutely.
Thompson said, a change needs to come, and it needs to stop looking like it looks now.
Absolutely. 100%.
And you need to get to the point where everything can become brand new and stop renovating stuff and make it brand new, because you can't get stuff to look what you're going to attract folks. And yes, I'm about the business of market rate and affordable housing. I've got both of them in a chart already
Absolutely.
done, already mapped out. All the things that's been stated to you, I've already got it in writing on my desktop.
Very
So
good.
you're-
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, appreciate that, Ms. Desmore. And of course, we will support what needs to be done in terms of zoning variations as needed. So, yeah, so continue to move forward on that. Any other
Question.
comments or questions
I do.
regarding?
Ms. Tolliver, Mr. Thomas, now that the advisory board has given a big thumbs up for this project, the Shiloh area, what is the next step? Where does it go next?
Yeah, so next, then everybody knows in Daytona now that we need to pursue these 4 lots.
Yeah.
That's why I say this is a tough position that we're in. Everybody knows we need to buy those 4 lots. So nothing is gonna be cheap now.
Yeah.
Although Michelle and I are not gonna knock on the doors, we're gonna send somebody else out. Now we're gonna pay optimal price for it because they know we need it in order to do our project. The next step is to pursue those 4 lots, and we're gonna do appraisal as
Who
Michelle
does that go
said.
to?
We invite people to bring since everybody knows if you know the folks, if they can call us and we can certainly come to some agreement. If not, we send somebody out there to knock on the doors for us and try to negotiate a price. But whatever that price is, we do an appraisal to make sure that the appraisal is commensurate with what they're asking. We're not too far apart. And after that, we go to the commission for approval.
How much do we pay for appraisals?
It varies.
Yes.
Some of the just residential only vacant lots. Then you got single family homes. Then we appraise commercial property.
Okay.
I mean, it
varies. Yeah.
It's a wide
Absolutely. Yeah.
And roughly anywhere from $950 for a single family residential to $1,200.
Okay.
And so let me say about the appraisal.
Come on back up here real quick. We'll give you 1 minute. We'll give you 1 minute. Yes.
And so here's the deal on 2 things. I do this every day. So appraisals, they need to get a different appraisal company because they don't need to be paying $900 some for an appraisal. That's not the case. The appraisals, when the customers, I got one right now that's paying her appraisal fee in the portal for the house she's buying on Essex Road, and the appraisal is $500. So I just want to put that out there so you all will know that these appraisals are not costing $900 and $1,200. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm gonna put it out there and tell you.
Thank you.
Now, the other thing is.
You about 20 seconds.
Okay, got 20 seconds. The people that will sell those properties will comply with it doesn't matter what they come in and want. Well, I know you all want the property now, so I'm gonna charge you $500,000. That won't be conducive with the area, and so if they tell them you got $265,000 for that particular property, it's going to depend on if that homeowner has a mortgage on that property and has to have something to pay off. Because if they're going to move out of that house, they want to go somewhere else comparable to, or a little bit
Right.
better, what have you. Now, if you owe $145,000 on a mortgage and you refinanced and got all this money on it, and I give you only $325,000, you got $199 left over. Where you going?
Exactly. So thank you.
$125,000. You not.
Thank
Where are
you.
you going?
Right.
That's what
That's
you're
good.
gonna run up into. I'm done.
Thank you.
I'll sit
Yeah.
down. I'm sorry.
Bless you. Any other comments from the board? So we can entertain a motion, we'll receive a motion to authorize the board to move forward with this project.
Yes.
And yes. Is there a second? Moved and properly second that we authorize the board to the staff to move forward to acquire, to negotiate to acquire those 4 properties for this development. No further discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. So is the order. Authorized to proceed. So thank you very much. All right. The no Midtown spotlight presentations. Is there any old business? Yes, other than the Midtown, we may have to table this to next meeting unless we can see what we need to see quickly.
Michelle Tolliver, Redevelopment Project Manager. I will go to the slide that, the packet that you have is where she kept the color of the Daytona Beach, the color of the heart. And then I realized that she did not provide to us the dark red. So she sent that to me, and I have that. She's saying that the dark, deeper shade of red does not allow for a clear contrast against the purple. So it makes it hard to see.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So she sent the original color and a proposed alternate shade of red. And it's there, but it doesn't match the color of Daytona Beach. So she sent me this today. That's the alternate shade of red against the red for Daytona Beach.
Do we need a vote?
Yes, because this will be the, unless you want more time, we can carry it forward. Ms. Washington is not here this meeting.
Yeah, I think we should table it, yeah. And
Okay.
get those in our hands with those, with that rendition, yeah.
Okay, so I will see you. And I can send this out before the meeting next month. I can literally send out what she has prepared so you all can see it and be prepared to make a decision in March.
Okay.
Very good.
All right, that's it for me.
All right, excellent. All right, thank you so very, very much. New business. There's no new business. We'll proceed with public comments that we have already received. Are there any other public comments? I have to ask. Okay, if there being none, board comment. Excuse me, Ms. Hart.
I'm just excited to see the collaboration with City of Daytona with the residents in Midtown to help, just with the basic approvals of gating and those things around our properties. It's an exciting thing, and it gives our neighborhood hope, that we can move forward with
Yes.
greater opportunities.
Yes,
Great meeting.
excellent, thank you.
Y'all, I think y'all feel my passion,
Yes,
and I think it's been echoed. I know Ms. Richardson.
100%, yes.
And I'm just excited about what's coming. And we had some tough decisions. We had some tough deliberations, but I'm excited about what the staff is doing, pushing forward. I know we got some other things coming right behind that, and I'm ready to see some dirt start moving and some things coming out the ground, and
Absolutely.
us celebrating our history at the same time.
Very good, excellent, that's great. Ms. Jones?
I would like to second exactly what he just said. Second.
Hey, Ms. Richardson,
Well, I may have something that's controversial.
speak it.
So I saw something on Facebook today, and it said Daytona Beach Housing Authority is in conversations with tearing down Caroline Village, which is fine. But my question is, are they going to tear it down and put it back with the volume of what is there? It doesn't have to be, the look of it. It can be something else. I just don't want it to be Pine Haven, that they took all of that away, they put a fraction of it back, and all of that land is still undone. So that's my question.
So if you'll allow me to respond,
Yes.
based on what I know, Caroline Village will continue to flood at record levels.
Yes.
So they have no desire to rebuild back on that property.
Okay.
They own property where the school board used to be located on Loomis.
Okay.
The old Daytona Beach School,
Yes.
Daytona Beach Community College
Okay.
used to
Okay.
be there. They are planning to put 150 units there.
Okay.
So the residents who live in Caroline Village would be relocated to the new development.
Okay.
And some of the residents in Palmetto Park would also be relocated to that new development. and they would rebuild Palmetto Park again.
Okay,
But they have no desire to rebuild on Caroline Village property.
okay. That suits me.
That's their
That
plan.
suits me because if you take it away, it's affordable housing, however you look at it. And people are homeless right now. So we need to definitely make
Right.
sure that whoever does the project does not do what is there in Pine Haven, because it hurts my heart to drive by there every day and see all of those green things sticking up out the ground, because that's where homes were supposed to be built. So I'm happy with that. Thank you.
Very good. Excellent.
I think it was a good meeting, very challenging, and a lot brought up. But I applaud the staff and all of the rest of the committee as well. But change, as we said, is evident, and always that's part of life. So there's so many factors. You know, I just pray that the historical piece, the rich historical legacy of the hotel, you know, as it sounds like it will be encompassed and be saved in that respect with a landmark or something. So, but overall, I think it was a good meeting.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much, everyone, for the lively conversation and all of the passion in the room. I love it. This is what we need to keep us active and alive and focused on what needs to happen. So again, thank you, staff. Appreciate your work and your effort. And so as we move forward, we'll do it with the spirit of both humility and collaboration, and we will accomplish our goals, and we'll work through whatever we need to work through to get to the end result, and that's to continue to develop this community to meet our goals, and the master plan to move forward and to complete everything that is before us. So again, thank you, everyone. Appreciate all of you, and we call this meeting adjourned at 7:56. God bless you. Go home. Good night.